What is going on, guys? It's your boy Mitchell, and today I have another Wi-Fi battle. This one is against Mark, and we're actually using, I think, UU tier. So we're using some pretty interesting teams. This came down to a very, very close win for me. My last Pokemon, I was down to 1, and at the end of the battle, he had none. And my Pokemon had like 20 or 30 something HP, so this is actually extremely close. We're actually running some pretty interesting teams. I've got Donphan, Kecleon, Weezing, Keldeo, Exploud, and Crawdaunt. He's actually running a team of Darmanitan, Gliscor, Hydreigon, Milotic, Bisharp, and Vikavolt. Now, his team is actually extremely threatening. Darmanitan with Choice Band absolutely wrecks shop. Bisharp is very, very powerful. And I actually have a couple of water types on my team. So Vikavolt is going to put in a lot of work this game. Just from team preview, from what I'm examining, I think Vikavolt's going to do a lot. So he's going to send out these hands, aka Darmanitan, aka Choice Band Wreck Your Day, aka I'm finna U-turn out of here, because I know he doesn't want to take this Earthquake. I know he doesn't. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Stealth Rocks, as he's just going to U-turn on out of here. I actually have, this is a very, very defensive Donphan, so I know that I can take that like a champ, and I'm actually just going to go straight for the Stealth Rocks. Right here, I'm kind of bluffing that I have the Ice Shard. Donphan does get Ice Shard, so I don't really see why he would bring out a Hydreigon, because Ice Shard is super effective. He probably knows that Ice Shard is not going to kill Hydreigon, but it might do a decent chunk to it. Unfortunately, I do not have the Ice Shard here, and he just goes for Dragon Pulse, and that's just going to straight knock me out. I thought I could tank it, but apparently not. And so yeah, down goes the Donphan. Now I'm going to send out my sexy, beautiful, shiny Keldeo. And I've actually gone against this Hydreigon before, so I know that a Secret Sword can take this out, because Keldeo is a special attacking monster, and I'm actually Life Orbed. So a Secret Sword is actually going to do massive amount of damage and take that thing out. Lose a little bit of HP from the Life Orb, but that is no big deal. He's going to go straight out to the Vikavolt, and I'm extremely scared of this thing. But seeing that he's got a little bit of health down from the Stealth Rocks that I set up earlier, I'm just going to go for a Hidden Power Fire, and that's definitely going to knock this thing way down. And I expected it to kill, but he lives with an invisible Focus Sash. So, great job living that. And he's just going to go for the Volt Switch and knock me out. Slam down to the ground, and he's going to get to switch into whatever he wants. So, he's actually going to go into his Gliscor right here. I'm assuming that this is a more tanky Gliscor with Toxic Orb. So I'm actually going to go out into my Crawdaunt. And I've been wanting to use Crawdaunt for a little bit now, but his name is actually Dinner, because I love lobster. It's so nice and tasty. But yeah, I have Focus Sash on this Crawdaunt, so I'm actually going to go for a Swords Dance, knowing that I can live anything that he throws at me. Crawdaunt's actually decently defensive, so he goes for a knockoff, and that's not going to do anything. Probably about 30% there. He gets a little bit of health back from the Poison Heal, so those Stealth Rocks really don't matter to him on this Gliscor. I'm going to go for the Crab Hammer. Unfortunately, that misses. I really think that would have killed, but that misses, and that has 90% accuracy, so that shows how lucky I am with this game. Now he's going to take me down to 17%, and I really don't want to miss a Crab Hammer again, so I'm going to go straight for the Aqua Jet, knowing that's going to do a decent chunk. It does about 80%, as he goes for a very scary play. He goes straight for the Rock Polish to get his speed up there. Now, I really don't know what Gliscor with a lot of speed does, because I don't know what kind of moveset these things run, but I know they typically don't run any like attacking moves for the most part. Maybe Earthquake or Stone Edge or something of that nature. But he's going to go for the Protect to get a little bit of Poison Heal. Just to think that maybe I'll get a low roll on the Aqua Jet, a low damage roll on the Aqua Jet, thinking that he might can live it. But he doesn't, because Aqua Jet actually did a huge amount of damage. And so yeah, down goes the Gliscor. Thank God. He's going to send out Bishop, not Bisharp, Bishop. And this thing is actually extremely scary. He's going to go straight for the Sucker Punch, and I knew that. I predicted that. I'm going to go straight for a Swords Dance. That's going to get my attack up at +4, so now my Crawdaunt is looking very nice. And I predict, once again, he's going to go for the Sucker Punch, so I go for another Swords Dance. Once again, I am at +6 attack now, so I can definitely take this thing out with an Aqua Jet. But he goes for the Sucker Punch again, and I go for another Swords Dance, even though it doesn't do anything. I go for another Swords Dance once more here, expecting him to go for the Sucker Punch maybe one more time. It's a pretty risky play on my part, and unfortunately it did not pay out. This thing probably would have died to an Aqua Jet, and Crawdaunt may have swept the rest of the team. Maybe, possibly. I don't know how much power Crawdaunt has. I'm actually going to test him out a little bit more in the future. I'm actually going to send out XOTD WOD, aka my Weezing, and I'm going to try to get a Will-O-Wisp, but there goes the Mitchell Luck once again, and I'm going to miss the Will-O-Wisp, even though that would have been very handy-dandy on this Bisharp. I didn't know whether he was going to switch out into my Lodic to take this Will-O-Wisp or something of that nature. So I'm actually just going to go for Will-O-Wisp again, praying that I don't miss. And he's actually going to go for the Iron Head, and that's going to do a very decent chunk to me, about 50%. And I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp once again, so this thing is not as big as a threat as it normally would be to the rest of my team. Bisharp actually came from OU. I think he's UU now, now that Sun and Moon has come out, and a lot of the better mons have gotten into OU, like the Tapus. So he's kind of gone down a little bit. He is Steel type and Dark, so it's this pretty good typing, in my personal opinion. And I'm going to send out the Weakleon. He's going to go for the Iron Head, and that's going to do a huge amount to me. Solid 50%. But he is burned. Otherwise, I really think that would have killed, possibly. And right here, I'm going to go straight for the Drain Punch with the Protean ability, and I know for sure that's going to kill, and I'm definitely going to get at least a quarter of health back. So that's really good for me. Kecleon is very slept on in the lower tiers, if you ask me. I really love Kecleon. I've been using him since 5th generation. He's extremely good, especially with the Protean ability. He gets a very wide move pool, and I love that. He's going to send in his Vikavolt, and it's just going to get absolutely obliterated by Stealth Rocks, even though it only had like 10 HP left from that invisible Focus Sash. So glad I finally got that thing out of the way, because it was a huge threat. He's going to send out his Milotic, and I'm actually going to go for a Drain Punch, I do believe. And he's going to go straight for the Attract, because he is cancerous and a very cancerous battler. And yeah, so he's going to make me fall in love with him. It's pretty gay. But yeah, I'm going to go straight for the Drain Punch. And that's not going to do nearly as much as I thought it would. So I'm only going to get a little bit of HP back here. And I actually think that I switch out here. So he gets a little bit back from leftovers, so he's more of a defensive Milotic, obviously. Kind of most sets of Milotic run these days are pretty defensive, so that's kind of what I expected, but I really expected to do a lot more damage than that. I'm going to send out Stank Breath, and he's actually just going to go for the Scald. I'm praying that I don't get the burn, even though I am Choice Specs Exploud, special attacker. I'm going to go... and I'm also scrappy, so Boom Burst Choice Specs hits anything extremely hard. I'm going to go for the Boom Burst, and it's not going to do nearly as much damage as I thought it would. I really thought this thing would knock out super easy, and that's very unfortunate on my part. He's going to go for a Mirror Move, and that Exploud did not get to do very much at all this game. So he's going to get a little bit of lefties back, and I'm just going to go back into Weakleon, because Weakleon outspeeds this thing. And I'm just going to go for the Fake Out and get a little bit of chip damage and knock this thing out, because it doesn't really take much whenever Milotic has just a couple of HP left. So he's actually going to go into his last Pokemon, these hands. I think that's his last Pokemon. And Stealth Rocks are actually extremely handy-dandy in this game. And he's actually going to send out Darmanitan, and it's going to do a huge chunk to him. He's going to go straight for the Flare Blitz. He is Choice Bandage, so that's definitely going to knock me out. Right here, I'm going to go out to my last mon, I believe, which is the Weezing, and I don't have very much health left, and I'm really hoping that a Flare Blitz won't take this out. So I'm going to pray, and I'm going to go for Sludge Bomb, and he's definitely going to go for the Flare Blitz, because I believe he is Choice Banded, and I'm going to live with 26 HP with the burn. If this Sludge Bomb does not kill, then I lose the game. If it does, fortunately it does, I win the game. One Pokemon left, 26 HP, so this was actually a very close, nail-biting battle, and it was super fun, and I really enjoyed playing with this guy. So I hope y'all enjoyed. Please leave a like on the video. Comment down below what you'd like to see, any specific Pokemon that you would like to see, if you would like to see more of these battles. Just let me know what your support is, and leave a like on the video if you wouldn't mind. and comment down below. So thank y'all for watching, and it's been your boy Mitchell. Peace out.